the number one key to never suffer again or to be happy all the time. Hi there, this is Loto Vázquez and I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, and I hope this is really meaningful to you. Make your best to not get distracted with any other noise that may be around, but I hope the sound is pretty good and that you can just follow along. This is obviously a pretty important topic, and I want to tell you a story about it. As you have probably heard me talk about it, you have followed the FearHacking Method Masterclass or the FearHacking Method workshop, that you probably have a link around here if you want to check it out. I started this journey when I was 16 years old, and the journey started because I discovered that there was a pretty beautiful, spectacular, meaningful, outstanding level of well-being that was inside of me regardless of anything going on outside. And with that, pretty quickly, it started this seeking enlightenment. And I don't even know how I connected those dots, but I guess because Buddha is one of the examples, the embodiments of enlightenment, and his research started because he wanted to transcend suffering. Anyway, I connected those dots, but what is the problem with seeking enlightenment? That we don't know what the fuck that means. Sorry for that word. Not even sorry. What the fuck that means? What the heck that means? And that is one of the biggest problems, as I say often, in personal and spiritual growth. We are pursuing things that we don't even know what it means. Enlightenment, being present, maybe it's more grounded, but still, what does it mean to be present? Letting go, surrendering, accepting. The tricky part, the problem with those words is that we make them so big because they are really important, but they are only directions, they are only intentions, they are not concrete enough to become actions that you can execute. And if they are not actions that you can actually execute, you cannot really transform your life with them. The only thing that is going to change your life for worse or for the better in this case, is what you can act on, that it's up to you to act on. Make sense? So that was a problem. I was seeking enlightenment and I don't know what the heck it is, even 20 years after seeking enlightenment. But what I know what it is to not suffer. I know when I'm suffering and I know when I am not suffering. Do you? We know. If we are sincere, we know. If we feel 0 out of 10, less than 5, we are suffering. And even if we are 5 out of 10, we are probably already starting to suffer. And if we are more than that, we can increase our fulfillment, but we are not suffering, if that makes sense. Anyway, we know when we feel crap and we know when we feel at least okay. Now, the main key to never suffer again is to master those moments where you are suffering. That's simple. I don't know if that's enlightenment, I think it is not, but I don't really care. What I care is that you don't suffer ever again. Why? Because if for you it's like me, that 16% of my time, I believe, I was suffering, even when I was already one of the happiest persons I knew, still 16% of my identity was to be caught, really caught, or semi-caught into loops inside of myself that I didn't really know how to get out of, and that would consume my attention and my energy, and that until I got completely rid of them, I couldn't be fully present and engaged with what I really wanted to give to this world, to the level of fulfillment and the level of impact that I really wanted to give to this world. Does that sound familiar to you? That sometimes, whether it's because of your intimate relationship, because of your relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your brother, with your health, with your finances are definitely a big one, and intimacy is definitely a big one, and meaning in life. Really being engaged with your purpose, the sense of I'm not fully doing what I came here to do. For us, conscious leaders, whether professionals, entrepreneurs, and or investors that are here not only to have success in the outside or success in the inside, but we need, there is something in us that is hungry to have both, because we know without both, our life is not really meaningful. It's missing the purpose, the real point to being a human being and being alive. But when I was suffering, I wasn't really fulfilled and I wasn't really impacting my life as much as I know I could. Now, if you get rid of suffering, which is my main interest for you, why my main interest? Again, because once you have this sorted, all that extra energy and resources are going to be available to crush it in everything that you are already having pretty good impact, way more most often than most other people. You are going to be able to upgrade your game in everything that you do. But not only because of that time where you are suffering, but because the time where you are not suffering, there is a part of you, a level of physical and psychological tension that doesn't unleash fully, because it's like it's waiting for that challenge that is too much for you yet, that is gonna come in 5 hours or 5 days or 5 minutes or 5 weeks or 5 months. But there is a part of you that knows that's gonna come back and I don't know how to deal with it. So there is a part of you that is like, I need to be cautious and I need to be protecting myself for that I know is gonna come back and I yet haven't learned how to handle. So let's learn that once and for all. And I was actually living this yesterday. I went to, actually before yesterday, I went to surf and I was surfing with this finger that I crashed with my scooter, and it's still painful. My physio or Indonesian magician has told me that it's cured, but it's still painful, so it's still recovering. And surfing for me already brings up a level of tension and challenge, but it's already good enough to train myself and keep touching my edge and expanding my limits. But with this extra pain, altogether made me be unpresent or fully fulfilled for a while. So I was coming out of the water and I was feeling that this has built up and that it required my full attention. And that is the trick, and that is what I want you to do. Whenever there is this, you get in touch with this bitter or unliked or unwanting sensation, the key is to be fully present with it, to be really attentive to that and breathe. You want to feel that sensation, and you can do it right now, whether because it has come up already for you while listening to what I'm saying and your mind linking what I am saying to what your own experiences, or because you bring it right now, thinking an area of your life that more often than you would like, it's painful or it's bitter or it's a pain in the ass or it takes you out of your game or sidetrack you, and let your body, let that sensation come up in your body and put the attention in that sensation and breathe. And what it was really tricky for me, really challenging, is that when I breathe into this, there is this sense of I want to cry, sense of, it seems like it's an overwhelming vulnerability, and it's not fully overwhelming. It feels like that, but it's, what I mean is not more than you can handle. It is not. You need to just stay with your attention in that sensation, be present with it, be attentive to it, be aware of it, perceive it, and breathe. And that is gonna start expanding, and that maybe brings the sense of crying or maybe even crying itself. And that's okay. You are a full human being. You are a baby adult, as I call us conscious leaders in my first book, in the happiness diagram. It's okay if you cry. If you cry like a baby, you are present with the crying, and then really, really quickly you are present with the next thing, because you haven't tried to suppress it, you haven't tried to not feel it, you haven't tried to pretend that it's not there. You live it fully, that moves through you, and now that gives you more vitality. And that's it. You have been able to stay with and transform your real reason to suffer, the real only result for suffering or moment of suffering, into vitality and fuel to now be more fulfilled and more impactful in what is next for you in this moment, in finishing watching this video and then whatever is next for you. Now, this makes super clear for you. I'm so happy if that's the case. and just go apply it and never suffer again and crush it in terms of fulfillment and impact for the rest of your life. And please give me your comments below. Also though, if this seems like, wow, that sounds really cool, but I don't think only with this I'm a master of this, that's normal. It takes practice to master anything. You can practice by yourself, but also if you have already watched this masterclass and you haven't had your session with me, you can do that. And we are gonna go deeper into this and to any other part of the fear hacking method that for you seems more slippery and more tricky, and you wanna bite it more clearly, or stronger, more solidly, so you have more sense of having the reins of your life with you, the reins of your fulfillment and your impact. And with that session also, we will explore if it's an outstanding fit for you in this stage of your life to work together for longer, for at least 3 months or a year or many years, whatever. But that is only an exploration that will happen naturally as we talk and see how much we like to work together. It's not necessary. What it will be our absolute commitment is that you get as much as you can get out of that session. But again, please leave your comments below with any doubt, with any question, with any thing that you find useful, whatever has been more surprising for you from this video, whatever is your main takeaway. Thank you very much for watching. Burn your excuses. Be as fulfilled and impactful as you can here to be. And if you find this useful for other people, feel free and eager to share it with them. Mucha love, and see you in the next video. Bye. So there you go. That was and is Loto Vázquez, the author of the Fear Hacking Method. And I hope that video was useful, inspiring, insightful. And if it was and it resonates with you, if it feels right for you, please support this work as much as possible. And you can do that liking it, following the channel, if it really is something that you want more for you. And if you follow the channel, activate the bell if you want to have the notifications of the next video as soon as they come up. Really, just follow your gut. If this is useful for you, do it. If not, follow your gut anyway. And if you believe this can be useful for other people, and it's aligned with you, share it. Why? Because we do need to share what it's inspiring, so we can live in a more inspired world with more inspired humans around us, with more healthy, self-loving humans, so we can rise this world together. So there you go. If it's aligned with you, if it's right, please support this as much as you can. Much love, and see you super soon in a following